You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast, and you're here with your boy Q Hicks right now. And I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. We got some good stuff for y'all today, man. The NBA Finals are done. Warriors closed it out in 6, as I predicted. Everybody else was saying this shit was going 7. I've been saying since before the finals even started, Warriors are getting it done in 6. But we got that coming for y'all. We got some other NBA news, some NFL news. We got a couple of topics for current events and entertainment today, and we're gonna close it out with Past the Aux.
Yeah, man, it was a slow week in that entertainment world. A whole lot of politics.
Yeah.
We ain't getting in all of that bullshit. So
yeah,
but we got a lot of music. We got a lot of music
politics.
news too, because that Beyonce and that Drake just dropped. So
Yeah.
we definitely gonna dive into those as well. So
It's a lot of
stay tuned.
repetitive politics going on. Ain't even that much new stuff being talked about.
For real. But the first thing we got to dive into, obviously, is the NBA Finals recap, because that was one hell of a finals, man. The Warriors ended up taking the cake, defeating the Boston Celtics in 6 games. And we all just have to look at Steph Curry, bro. I think that has to be the main takeaway after watching that finals, bro. Obviously, he got his first finals MVP. He averaged over 30. He had help from Wiggins, Klay Thompson. He got a lot of help, but Steph Curry has to be the main focus point. And what is your biggest takeaway from everything that he has accomplished so far in his career? And why is this such a big moment for him moving forward?
I think this is a big moment for him moving forward, just because he's finally in that room and he's able to sit at that table now when it comes to the greatest of the greats who have finals MVPs and whatnot. So I think he's closed that door on that conversation now. People could stop saying, he doesn't have a finals MVP. So is he really even in that GOAT status yet? I think Steph Curry finally closed the door on that. I've been seeing people over the last 5 to 7 days having all these, is he top 10 conversations and whatnot. Let me go ahead and say this. Steph Curry has been a top 10 player for at least the past 5 years now.
Y'all wasn't saying that before this chip. Y'all wasn't saying that before this chip, bro. I don't think y'all was saying that before this chip.
Oh, I may not have said it, but I knew it.
Y'all had him borderline, but I don't think y'all had him certified top 10. He's certified now.
Curry was borderline.
Y'all had
Steph
him
Curry
borderline.
was certified top 10. I never said it. I never even indulged in the conversation because I thought this was a general consensus answer. That
He
Steph
was
Curry,
borderline.
We can't say he's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, and he's one of the best scorers, period, of all time, and he revolutionized the game, but he's not top 10. That doesn't even make sense. That can't even be in the same conversation. The person who completely changed the game,
accolades, bro.
the person who literally changed the way basketball is played and turned it to a completely positionless sport is not a top 10 player. Yes, for the past 5 years, bro. in my eyes, Steph Curry, over the past 5 years, he's been top 10. And let me go ahead and say this. Stop playing Larry Bird in y'all top 10s, bro. Larry Bird is not a top 10 player anymore. I hate the fact that Larry Bird is still put in these conversations because he's not better than KD. He's not better than Giannis. Giannis may not have the accolades Larry Bird has yet, but we know just based off of the eye test alone, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a way better player than Larry Bird ever was. And he's going to have just as good of a resume.
Let's calm down, bro. Let's tone it down, bro. You disrespecting somebody who really built this game now, bro. It was him and Magic who saved the league.
I'm talking
you gotta respect
off of the
that.
eye test alone. Giannis is a more dominant player than Larry Bird. It's not.
Come on, bro. I think that's more so recency bias. And you grew up in the 2000s era, but if you grew up in the 80s and seen Larry Bird, he was the most dominant person of his era. Him and Magic. So you can't say, just because we got the eye test, the niggas are more athletic. Like Larry Bird wasn't like that.
KD better than Larry Bird.
I agree.
Put Larry Bird versus KD 1-on-1. We know who winning this matchup every time. Every single matchup.
But we still gotta respect our elders at the end of the day.
We can respect the elders. I ain't say he's trash. I'm just saying Larry Bird is not a top 10 player anymore. He could definitely still be top 20, even top 15. But Larry Bird is not one of the 10 greatest basketball players to ever touch a basketball. He's not in the top 10 anymore, bro. He's just not. Steph,
no more.
LeBron, KD, MJ, Shaq, Kareem, Magic, Tim Duncan, and who's my 10th? I'm missing somebody right now.
Miss Steph? You put KD? You miss somebody?
I put Steph. I put KD. Who the hell am I missing right now? I'm missing somebody.
Kareem?
Bill Russell. I had Bill Russell in there.
Oh,
I had Bill Russell.
Okay.
He's not better
Bill
than
Russell's another person I kind of scooped to the back too. I don't know. I wouldn't put him top 10.
I gotta have
a lot
Bill
of
in
people
there.
put him up there because of the championships, but come on, bro. It's a lot of people that can be above
11 chips. The first black player / head coach, and the first.
See how you
respecting
respecting him, but you ain't respecting Larry. How you respecting him, but you ain't respecting Larry?
He's the first player head.
Larry
coach killed.
Larry was dominating the game. This nigga Bill Russell was going up against nigga. He was 9 inches taller than just laying the ball up and blocking.
I ain't saying he at the top of the 10 list. I definitely put Bill at number 10.
I would put Bird above Bill. High key.
Now see, that's the argument. Now that's the argument. But either one of them players, Bill Russell or Larry Bird, if you put them in the top 10, they're no higher than number 10.
Damn. But I think Steph did definitely solidify himself top 10. I think he's jumped all the way to borderline top 5. If you call Steph a top 5 player, I can't argue with you because now he's up there with the Tim Duncans. He's up there with the Kobe's. He's up there with the Magics right now. And don't let that nigga get another one because if he get another one, we got to have a real conversation, bro. A real conversation that y'all don't want to have. But I'm going to say that conversation for a little later in this episode. I want to get back to the NBA Finals a little bit.
I can't argue that. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't argue that conversation. Like you said, we'll get into it later.
Yeah,
I wouldn't argue that conversation because I keep telling y'all it's only 2 people that will let y'all get away with saying better than Bron, and that's MJ and Kobe. If Steph win another one, that's one more person, just one more person that I would not argue that against. I really wouldn't.
But just to finish up this NBA Finals talk, I do want to talk about the Celtics because obviously the Warriors won, so they should get all the praise. Definitely shout out to Andrew Wiggins because he had his coming out party, had one hell of a series guarding and offensively. Klay Thompson came all midway through that series. Jordan Poole had good games toward the end. Everything came to Draymond ended up stepping up. Looney, like all of these boys about to get paid too, which is crazy. And I think that's another thing we got to talk about. With the Warriors, are they bringing everybody back? Because if we think about the money that the Warriors are paying right now, they're paying Steph damn near 50. Steph is about to be Klay is about to be a free agent like in a year. You got to pay Wiggins this summer. You got to pay Poole this summer. Draymond is coming up where you have to give him a new contract. I'm pretty sure you want to bring back Looney, but Looney might get the boot. It's like you got to sign a lot of niggas to keep this championship roster intact, but their roster does have a lot of young boys that could play a big role. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like they could let some people go like Wiggins or like Poole to just develop the younger players?
The Warriors are deep as hell into the luxury tax. Like they're 300 plus mil into the luxury.
The salary cap is 150, bro.
And they're gonna find a way to still make this work. Which is why I've been saying for like 2 years, bro. Don't be surprised within the next 5 to 10 years if at least the NBA. Now I was stretching it saying the NBA and the NFL, but at least the NBA along with the MLB will not have a salary cap within the next 5 to 10 years. Like even with just $5-year deals, they can't do the 10-year, 12-year deals anymore like how they used to way decades ago in the NBA because they've seen how it's not as beneficial as with baseball. So they had to shorten it to 5-year max contracts, but they're still going to find a way to not have a salary cap anymore because there's no reason why the Warriors should be this deep in the damn luxury tax and nobody's even raising an eyebrow. And we're like, they'll figure a way to pay it. But I think, I think there's not going to be a salary cap anymore, bro, in the next 5 to 10 years.
But I think the Warriors are just a team that they are willing to spend. A lot of these owners in the NBA especially do not want to spend money, bro. The Warriors just got a new stadium, so they're getting a lot of new money, a lot of new revenue. They just won a championship, so they're going to get even more revenue going in their direction. Whereas like we can pay the luxury tax bills and we'll be fine because we just got so much money going in. But for all these small market teams and even the big market teams still don't want to pay like a crazy amount for the best player on the team over 50 million. I think we'll still keep a cap, but the teams like the Warriors will just be rewarded more if you pay. And we have to look at the Warriors like they're only doing this because they drafted these players, so they have their bird right. So you can go above the salary cap to sign these players. They drafted Draymond, they drafted Clay, they drafted Steph, they drafted Poole, so they can, and they traded for Wiggins with his bird right. So now you can sign these players and not have to worry about the salary cap because you have their bird rights and you can go over this shit. So I think that's the key development. Every other team doesn't have that luxury because y'all not drafting as well as they did, obviously. And I think that's why they're going to
there's even taxes. Back. There's even taxes put on, and I don't agree with this. There's taxes put on even with the players that you draft. And I think Joy Taylor made a good point of that over the last couple of days. She's been saying how she doesn't think it makes sense that the players you draft, you also get taxed on like players you get in free agency or players that you quote unquote buy from other teams. And I totally agree. I feel like if I draft anybody, there should not be any type of luxury tax or whatever tax on however long I extend.
It has to be some sort of punishment though for you going over this salary cap. I'm not just gonna let you go over the salary cap.
These players.
I'm not just gonna let you go over the salary cap and like that's just finna be the end all be all. Because now everybody finna go over this bitch, and if nobody gotta pay, if nobody is getting everybody getting drafted.
The only teams who are going to go over are the teams that have a chance at winning a title and got the roster to do that. We ain't got to worry about teams like the Orlando Magic and the Pistons and trash teams like this doing shit like that. The Warriors, whatever team LeBron on, whatever team Giannis on, or whatever team KD on, teams like that, yeah, you got to worry about doing that. But that's like, what, a handful of teams in the NBA? It ain't like we got to worry about all 30 of these teams doing that.
Nah, I think they got to be punished, bro. And I think it makes those teams think about going over the luxury tax. Do we want to pay this certain player this amount of money if we got to pay this much back in luxury tax? But I think it makes somebody think. If you don't have to think about it, I feel like it's just instant decisions. But I think it should be a process where you have to think like, damn, do we want to pay Poole $25 million next year? Yeah, Poole is a good player, but damn, $25 million is a lot of dollars. Are we cool to let him walk and develop somebody to take his type of spot? I think that's a question that you should have to go with. Not, oh, we drafted him, we ain't got to pay luxury tax. Okay, fuck it, we just gonna do it. I think it has to be some sort of decision that goes into it. Then it would just be way easier for these GMs. But going back to I feel like I keep saying going back to the finals because I need to talk about the Celtics. Because the Celtics they did make it this far. So definitely shout out to the Celtics. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. But I feel like we have to talk about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum obviously did not have a good finals. I think he only shot 37% from the field, a lot of turnovers. Everything was just all over the place. It felt like he never got into a rhythm going against this Warriors team. You can give a lot of credit to Wiggins' defense and the defensive system for the Warriors in general because they really locked him up offensively. But do we give Tatum a pass for this NBA Finals because he is so young? Or will this be something that follows him throughout his entire career?
I say no to both. I don't think he should get a pass on this, but I also don't think it's going to follow him throughout his career either because this is his first time getting to the finals. He's only, 20? He's my age. He's 24. So I don't think this is really something that's just going to follow him throughout his career. And I also don't think he should get a pass. And I don't think he should get a pass just because he is a superstar player. I've been seeing a lot of media people questioning, have we been wrong about Tatum this whole time? Is he just a star, not a superstar? Jason Tatum is a superstar. Jason Tatum, when healthy, is clearly a top 10 player in the NBA without question. Even top 5, if he's really, really on his best day, he could be a top 5 player in the NBA on certain days. So you could be a superstar and just shrink in the big moments. And I think that's all that happened. Now, I'm not giving it any excuse. He shouldn't have shrunk.
Can you be a superstar and shrink, bro?
Hell can you?
We see what happened with Bron, bro. Yeah. And niggas still bring that Bron shit up.
He was still he's gonna face a different level of criticism than everybody else. It don't matter,
bro. Tatum's on that level, though, bro. Tatum's on that level, though, bro.
He could have won 10 finals straight after that Dallas series, and they still would have found a way.
Tatum is on that level where, damn, bro, that shit gonna follow. You did that in the finals, bro?
Not a
It's like, damn, that shit gonna follow him, bro. That shit is gonna follow him. Bro. You shrink like that?
Because the turnaround,
you did what?
The turnaround the team had anyway mid-season to even get into the playoffs at the position that they did
Niggas ain't gonna remember that, bro.
It wasn't a Cinderella story, but it was a huge turnaround story of the entire season. That was the biggest turnaround story of the season. So you have the biggest turnaround story. You get to the playoffs. You sweep KD in the first round, and you lock him up, and he plays a terrible game. I really can't sit here and say he just folded. Yes, you folded in terms of losing the finals, but your whole playoff experience, this whole playoff experience for this season, I can't sit here and dock that superstar status off Jason Tatum. I can't. He definitely folded under pressure.
He's still a superstar. He's still a superstar. But that shit is going to follow you, bro. I don't think it's going to follow him like that. I think it's going to follow him. Like I said, he can win championships, bro, and it could be pushed to the background, just like with Bron. We say, oh, he a 4-time champ. But I'm telling you, niggas still say, Bron could have 5 if he won tripping in that first finals. And I feel like it's the same thing with Tatum. Like, damn, you could have helped your team really win a ship if you didn't fold like you did, bro. Like I said last week, I didn't feel like Tatum played a good game the entire series. Even when he was scoring in the high 20s, I didn't feel like he was playing well. If he played well, we're having a different conversation right now. The amount of turnovers that he was racking up throughout the playoffs, but especially in the finals, bro, we got to look at you, bro. You have to put this on your shoulders. He's big enough. He's grown enough to take this blame on his shoulders. Brown, too, can put the blame on his shoulders, but it's on those players, bro, the turnovers. And what did I say last week? It was before game 6. And I said, if they have 20-plus turnovers or 18-plus turnovers in game 6, they're going to lose. It was the story of their entire playoffs, bro. They have to get better at that. I got to put that on the 2 stars, so I can't say they get a pass for this, bro. I feel like this would have been a different story if they didn't do that. This would be a different story. Get a pass,
but like I said, I don't think it's not gonna follow them either, bro. Maybe in the sense because we are talking about Tatum being one of the 2 or 3 candidates for face of the league over the next decade or so. But other than that argument, I don't see a reason to just, have it on his be a monkey on his back the whole time, while he's trying to chase another finals appearance. I don't think it's something we could just latch on him yet. Now, in the next 2-3 seasons, if he don't even sniff the finals again over the next 2-3 years, then that's the point where it's like, this a monkey on your back, bro. Because the one time you did get there, you folded, and you ain't been back in 2-3 seasons. And we can't sit here and act like the East ain't gonna be back to full health when this next season start. Celtics gonna be back full health. Ime Udoka, great coach. I'm sure they're gonna have a great season, but there's gonna be some other teams having a great season too. Because I don't give a damn who around Kevin Durant. KD gonna make sure they at least get to the playoffs. So you gotta worry about him. You gotta worry about Philly because as long as Embiid healthy, he gonna make it work with Maxey and whoever else. You know what I'm saying? You got the Heat. It's other teams in the East that could possibly upset you because to your point, there were series that they had throughout this entire playoffs where it's like, damn, the Celtics are clearly the more athletic team. They look like just the better team, but they damn near finna get upset by this team or they damn near finna get upset by this team. So I think in the next 2-3 seasons, if Jason Tatum does not sniff a finals or just plain old doesn't win one, then that's when we could put the monkey on his back.
And I think for the Celtics, the big improvement, because I do think they will be back. I think they're going to consistently be like a conference finals team. I think they're young enough. They have the players. Everybody's under contract. Everybody's going to be back. You're going to learn from this experience. I think Tatum will be better. Brown will be better from this experience. But I think they have to get a point guard. Not somebody to take Marcus Smart's spots, but somebody who can just run the floor, bro, and put everybody in the right positions to take advantage of their matchups because that's what we didn't see enough of. We were not seeing enough easy looks and putting players into positions where it's like, all right, bro, you got a small on you. As a point guard, I have to feed you and get you the ball in the most opportune times. Marcus Smart wasn't doing that. Marcus Smart had played well in this finals, and he played well throughout the playoffs, but that's just not his strong suit. We know him more for his defense, and his shooting has improved. But the playmaking and the point guard instincts is what I think they're missing right now out of a backup point guard. I think that's what they need. Somebody who's heady enough to get these star players the ball in the best position for them to take advantage. Where it's not Tatum dribbling at the top of the key for goddamn 20 seconds and then he passing it for a 3. Like, no, let a point guard run the show and get all my shooters the shots. get my stars the shots. I think that's what they need. Not somebody to take Marcus Smart's spot, but somebody who's a real deal point guard, because currently they do not have one on the roster. But I think they
who they could get. You know who they could get, but this team damn sure ain't gonna give them up because they ain't got no plan B. Chicago. If they were to get somebody like Alonzo Ball,
that's what I'm saying.
Lonzo
a player like that
with that perfectly, but Chicago needs Lonzo because they don't have a plan B. So
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. They just need a playmaker, bro, just to know, like, all right, bro, you got the matchup that you need. All right, cool. I'm gonna get you the ball where you want it. I'm gonna give you the ball where you need to get the ball at. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen it a little bit in Game 6. We've seen like the bigger players like Horford actually taking advantage of their matchups, but we just didn't see enough of that. We see Horford standing at the 3-point line way too much this series with a small guarding him. A point guard would have told his ass, get your ass in the post and take advantage. That's what they were missing. And I think that's what they get next season. And we can see the Celtics most likely back in this position. But like you said, you still got the Bucks and you still got other teams right on your ass too. If the Heat get somebody, they're going to be on your ass. So the Celtics are the team to beat, I feel like, for right now. But the Bucks are right up there with them. It's going to be those two teams, and the Heat will be third if they get somebody to jail with the team. But it's definitely a conversation. But still, shout out to the Celtics. Like you said, they did have one hell of a season. Imo Udoka in his first year to do this once again, to get all the way to the finals in your first year is crazy, bro. So definitely salute to him too, man. Definitely salute to him. And moving on to, I feel like I wanted to talk about something else. Oh, who would you have right now, bro? If we had to pick right now, what would be your NBA Finals matchup for next year?
For next year, with the teams the way they're constructed now, not foreboding any trades or anything.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you think a certain move is going to happen, you could say, yeah, I think this team, I think they're going to end up trading for this guy. If you think that's going to happen, yeah.
I ain't even going to lie to you. Warriors might run it back and go back again. So I say out the West, as of right now, the Warriors, and from the East, I think Giannis going to get back there. I don't know what the Bucks going to do, but I think Giannis going to get back there. So if I had to give a super early finals prediction for the 22-23 season, it would be Warriors and Bucks.
I agree with the Bucks. I definitely would have the Bucks above the Celtics right now. And in the Western Conference, I feel like people are sleeping on them, bro, is the LA Clippers, bro. That boy Kawhi been resting for a year and a half now, waiting for this moment for next year. PG ain't the trash ass playoff P from a couple of years ago. Like, he back to full Pacers form. You feel me?
That boy so pushing P.
You feel what I'm saying? We got pushing P and we get Kawhi back. And if y'all look at the amount of role players that they have around them now, like, this is like a good deep ass squad. And I think they will make a trade for a point guard, whether that's D'Angelo Russell, whether it's for Kyrie out here, they're in the running for him. I think they're going to make a trade for a point guard. And you still have Reggie Jackson, too, who is serviceable. But I think they will make a jump for a star point guard to really round out this team because they have enough assets right now. But they got Covington, they got Norman Powell, good role players that you need come playoff time that I think will get them over the edge. When you talk about the Warriors, when you talk about the Lakers, I think they will be back in that position. And I think a trade does go their way where Kawhi and PG are there again. And I want to see Kawhi get another one, bro. I really do, because I feel like for all the players that we talk about, obviously we talk about the LeBrons, we talk about the Stephs. I feel like Kawhi just goes to the background. Yes, he's definitely been injured throughout a couple of years. But damn, when you talk about one of the players that dominated the 2010s, damn, did he not dominate that motherfucker? I feel like he doesn't. I feel like he does not get talked about enough, bro. When you just talk about like the top players in this league. Like, if he comes back next year, he's back in the top 5. Somebody has to drop out. I'm sorry. I don't know who y'all got in y'all top 5, but somebody got to drop out, whether it's Tatum or what. Kawhi's still top 5.
Yeah, we could definitely drop one of the young bucks out of the top 5 if Kawhi. Because anybody, like, I don't blame anybody for having Luka top 5 or anything like that. But when Kawhi come back, we got to drop one of the young bucks out. So Luka, Tatum, on one of y'all, no offense, but being top 10 just so Kawhi can be top 5, that's not a slight at all.
No, it's not. Especially when Kawhi is certified, he got rings. Yeah, you gotta move out the way, young buck. You gotta move out the way. All right, man. Moving on to the conversation that we mentioned earlier about Steph Curry. Is he in the GOAT convo? Because he's starting to creep up in that conversation. Edgar listed all of his accolades: 4 championships, Finals MVP, 8-time All NBA, All-Star Game MVP. He got everything that you would want in a player's resume, everything that you could possibly get. Like, is he up there in that conversation with the Kobe's, the Tim Duncans, the Bronze, the Michael Jordans? Is he already in that GOAT convo?
I would say no. But if he gets 1 or 2 more, which the Warriors are showing they clearly can do, they can get 1 or 2 more with the big 3 that they have of Steph, Clay, and Draymond. If Steph Curry get 1 to 2 more rings, it's not even a conversation no more, bro. He's at that GOAT table. But he tied with Bron right now. So I would just say no, just because of the impact that Kobe, Bron, and MJ had. Steph's impact is it's right under there, bro.
Hit you with one. I'm about to hit you with one.
Is 1A, 1B. Because Steph, I just said it a few minutes ago, Steph literally revolutionized the way we play basketball now. But I still think it just shrinks a tiny bit in comparison to what the other 3 people did.
This is the question I want to pose to you, bro. If you had to make a Mount Rushmore of 4 people, it's only 4, who really tell the story, their faces tell the story of the NBA throughout the 70 years the NBA has been going on, which 4 players would you pick that really define the NBA throughout all of these different eras? Who would be the 4 players? Who would be your Mount Rushmore?
Damn, across 75 years.
Hey, bro, that's what we saying.
Years.
So if we had to talk about 4 players, bro, who really define the NBA,
that's a different question. Then
that's what I'm saying.
So it ain't the 4 best players. It's the 4 damn near the 4 most influential players. Okay, so this Mount Rushmore, it ain't even gonna sound close to what our GOAT debates sound like. Bill Russell has to be on the Mount Rushmore. When you talk about most influential players of all time, like I said, he was the first player coach in history, and he was black on top of that, and racist as Boston. Like, I think that's always going to be historic, bro. And he hit the ground running with the NBA, ABA/NBA, whatever they were at that moment when Bill was playing. So Bill Russell is up there. You can't say Magic without saying Bird. Am I allowed to have them like a 2-headed GOAT kind of thing? Can they both be one head?
That gotta be bro. That gotta be one. 4 players, bro. 4 players, bro.
Damn. You can't say Bird without Magic, and you can't say Magic without Bird. And I can't not put either one of them on it.
You can,
but Bill Russell, Mike, Bron. Damn, that's not fair, bro. You gotta have Magic and Bird on the same thing, bro.
Take Bill Russell ass out there. Take Bill Russell ass out.
Damn.
Cause I know who your 4th name.
You could low-key put Dr. J.
I was gonna say that too. I would put Dr. J in that bitch too. If I was to have
just
5,
if you had to spread it across the entire 75 years,
it's a hard question.
You're never gonna get anybody with the same answer for all.
And I think that's what makes
years.
it such a good question. Because
now, if you did
not going
decade
to get the
by
same answer.
decade,
yeah.
If you did era by era or decade by decade, it's a lot easier then, because you got to combine the 70s and the 80s. I think 60s through the 80s, you got to combine that shit. So I would say 60s through the 80s is Bill Russell, Dr. J, Magic, and Larry Bird.
Your ass cheating, nigga. I said 4
and then
people.
from the 90s to now, it's Mike, Kobe, Bron, and Steph. It's 8 heads in total, bro. It's 8 heads in total. I don't give a damn.
This nigga trying.
But you know one name I didn't say? I didn't say Kareem, bro. I ain't even think about it. I didn't say Kareem. And not to say Kareem wasn't influential, but I don't think he was as influential as the people I named.
I would say Magic Johnson would be on my Mount Rushmore for sure. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. I feel like the last three are like certified locked in. You can debate on a person, whoever you want to say, the Bill Russells, the Dr. J's, the Magics, the Isaiah Thomas, whoever you want to put on that Mount Rushmore, Kareem, whoever, Akeem couldn't even be on there too. But I feel like those last three, LeBron, for what he's done in dominating the 2000s and the 2010s, Michael Jordan, we already know what he did in the late 80s and the 90s. And for Steph Curry revolutionizing the game, I feel like those three certified. And I feel like Magic Johnson, he revitalized the sport of basketball. Can you say it's him and Bird? But I think who was better out of those 10 years when they were really seeing each other every year? I think Magic was the best. He had the most championships.
Oh, yeah. I think Magic was better, but it's just one of them things.
He carried the league, bro. It was on his back. It was honestly on Magic back. He brought the sport of basketball back.
It's a different situation, but as far as my argument of you can't say one without the other, it's like Brady and Belichick. Like, you can't say Brady won all those Patriot chips, and you can't say Belichick won all those Patriot chips. They're synonymous. Like, they just needed to be there at the same time. And I think I'm just using that argument with Magic and Bird. Like, they just needed to be in the same place, in the same era at the same time, or unless it wasn't going to work like that, bro. Because if Larry Bird did not exist and it was just Magic and the Showtime Lakers, I don't think it would have hit as hard, bro, because they wouldn't have had no rivalry. Villain. There would have been no rivalry or nothing. So I think you have. But
I think the excitement of Showtime brought a lot of that excitement back too. What the Lakers were doing, I think you see a lot of that in the HBO
girls.
Shit. Yeah, I think the excitement of the Lakers brought a lot of that. But I agree with the rivalry part of that. But I think Magic made a lot of people pick up a basketball. It's the same thing. It's the same conversation with like the AI. Like, you hear so many people say AI, Jordan made them pick up a basketball. I think that's number one when you think of Magic Johnson. People wore number 32 because of him. Everybody growing up in the 80s wanted to be Magic Johnson. So that's why I give him the edge over Birds. Obviously, he has the more championships, but I think it's just like the cultural impact as well of like, damn, I wanted to be like Michael or Magic Johnson back in the day. So I'll have Magic, Mike, Bron, Steph. We my Mount Rushmore of the NBA, period, bro. Of the NBA, 75 years. Those are the Mount Rushmore of the sport.
My top four, if I got to go off what Quincy's saying, my top four again was Bill Russell, Dr. J, LeBron, and Michael Jordan. If I had to span across the entire 75 years of the NBA. But if y'all heard my answer on different eras, then y'all know I got completely different heads on different Mount Rushmore.
Facts. But I think it's an interesting conversation. If Steph got one more, if Steph gets one more, he's honestly, I ain't gonna say he's the GOAT, but he's definitely 1, 2, 3 at that point. I'm putting him at 3. If he gets one more, he gets 5. I'm not putting him over LeBron because I've seen Bron go to 10 straight finals, and that shit just is so fucking different to me. But I think I will have him 3. And if he wins 2 more, I think we can have a real conversation about Steph and Jordan. But that's so far away, I don't want to think about that conversation. But he's creeping up on Bron for sure. Moving on from Steph and the NBA Finals, man, we got a lot of NBA news, bro. We got the NBA draft, and we got a lot of offseason talk, man. We got Kyrie Irving on the trade block because we hearing a lot of conversation go back and forth that they don't want to sign him to a long-term deal. They're not even trying to sign him to a short-term deal. It's like a lot of impasse right now. They're trying to talk about the money, the years. They're currently grown stagnant in the contract conversations. And what did I tell y'all? And Edgar, I mentioned Edgar on Twitter today. We had this conversation, I want to say like 3 weeks ago, about whether you should do the long-term or short-term with Kyrie. I said, bro, if you disrespect Kyrie, bro, he can walk out of that door. And what's going to happen if he walks out of that door? Number one, what's the alternative? What do you get in return if you do trade him? And what is going to happen with KD? What is his attitude going to be toward that type of move, bro? Is he going to want to leave? Because, damn, I came here with this dude, and now he gone. You feel what I'm saying? What is his attitude going to be? And now we're starting to hear a lot of bubbling rumors of, okay, if KD or if Kyrie gets traded, KD could be looking somewhere else. It's like, hey, I told y'all, bro, y'all got to sign Kyrie if y'all want KD, bro. It's high key a package deal.
I don't give a damn what NBA team you are for the remainder of Kyrie Irving's do not sign this man any longer than 2 years. I'm sticking to my same case that I made a few weeks ago, and I'm not changing it. I don't care how much money you offer in those 2 years, but don't offer anything longer than a 2-year contract. And KD, I don't know why KD would be upset because, bro, if you as close to Kyrie as you say you are, and y'all as buddy as y'all say, and y'all made this move to Brooklyn together and all that, you should know what type of time he on when it comes to how he deals with situations like this. I think KD need to understand, bro, if you don't convince Kyrie to re-sign to a short-term deal, you need to just suck it up and just stay in Brooklyn and just figure out a way to get another piece. Because if you keep Kyrie long-term and y'all face the same BS that y'all been facing since he's been there, what are we saying then? Because I feel the Nets are damned if they do. The Nets are damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they let Kyrie walk, everybody looking at them like they stupid as hell. If they keep him, we don't even know if he's still gonna be able to play all games just because is he still allowed to even play at home?
That COVID shit has passed. That COVID shit has passed. So
yeah,
he's going to be able
until
to
the
play.
Season start.
He's
until the season start.
He's going to play. But I said, I said, what is the alternative? If you trade Kyrie, what you gonna get? Because I'm hearing a lot of Lakers fans talking about Russell Westbrook. You think KD want to play with Westbrook ass again? Come on, bro. Y'all not being real with me, bro. Y'all got to be realistic. Who is out there that can be had at this point in time? You can trade him to the Heat. That's all I'm saying. You can probably get Lowry and Hero for him. That's probably your best deal. But who can you realistically have who KD would be like, okay, that's good. That's good. And you know what I'm saying? I can roll with this type of roster. I don't know if that player is out there that KD is looking for. It's like you have to sign him. Or if not, if you trade him or let him walk out of the door, I'm playing with some scrubs hockey. I got Ben Simmons, but damn, this is what I came to Brooklyn for? Yeah. Look at this nigga. But like, this is what I came to Brooklyn for, bro. I came to Brooklyn to win chips, and now Harden done left me. Damn, Kyrie done left. Damn, I'm here on the island. I'm about to ask out too and fuck the whole Brooklyn shit up. Miami's here for you. That's all I got to say.
At that point, I don't feel bad for Brooklyn. I feel bad for KD in this situation. But if KD did decide to walk, I ain't got no ill feelings. It's like, hey, Brooklyn, that ain't my team no damn way. I don't give a damn. Brooklyn is damned if they do, damned if they don't. Obviously, more damned if they don't, because you can't just let Kyrie walk out the door for nothing. But I feel like even if they re-sign him to 4 to 5 years, I just don't see that playing out well, bro. Because anybody that tells you, if you professionally play basketball for a living, you should be living, breathing, and sleeping basketball. Kyrie has made it known several times that basketball is not his number one priority. I don't know if
when has he shown that, bro?
I don't know if my
jumping to conclusions. When has he shown that basketball is not his number one priority? When? Because he didn't get a vaccine? Basketball not my priority because I didn't get a vaccine?
He was having PTO before the vaccine. There was several times Kyrie didn't come to practice.
Y'all making shit up now, bro. Y'all making shit up now, bro. Y'all saying because he didn't get a vaccine, he took a couple of weeks off. He didn't take. Y'all was saying that when Braun took a couple of weeks off. Braun took a couple of weeks off. Now he don't live and breathe the game.
Because a couple of weeks is different than half of the damn season.
Yeah, over a vax.
A couple
it's
weeks.
Like he didn't want to play.
A couple weeks when we know you're going to damn near 9 times out of 10 make the playoffs, or we know you're going to have some type of impact on this team at a consistent basis is totally different than, damn, we really don't know if Kyrie's suiting up this game. We got to be ready regardless. That's totally different. Those are totally two different
Kyrie plays games, bro. If Kyrie was playing, if it wasn't for this vaccine, Kyrie would have played most of these games this season.
Well, it can't be an if. It is what
I said he would have. I said he would have. It was the vaccine.
This vaccine shit ain't going away, bro. If
it
numbers continue to rise,
niggas is living with the vax now.
If numbers continue to rise and situations continue to occur to where he can't play because he's not vaccinated, I'm telling you, bro, it's not going to end well. I ain't trying to sit here and force Kyrie to get no vaccine, but yeah, that's my take on it.
Getting some trade news. I'm hearing that the Hawks and the Spurs are in the middle of blockbuster talks. According to this Bleacher Report update, they are looking to trade DeJounte Murray to the Hawks for John Collins going to the Spurs.
Whoa.
Interesting deal. Obviously, you would look to have some type of guard depth and some guard help for Trae Young so he doesn't get all the attention. Getting DeJounte, who was an all-star last year, that could be upgrade. Hey, that's what's up for the Hawks. Damn, John Collins to the Spurs? Damn, that's different.
That boy Black ain't saying nothing in 2 hours. I don't even know if he.
No, because I don't think this trade has been confirmed, but it's just being in the talks route. Like that, it's moving toward that type of direction. So DeJounte to the Hawks, damn. I actually fuck with that, bro. Because that means Trae Young is playing way more off ball, which is what I would like to see him do way more. I would like to see him more in like a Steph Curry-esque role where you have him run off screens, where you have DeJounte Murray who can attack his matchup and get to the rim. And DeJounte Murray plays defense, something that we never see that team do ever. So you actually getting a defensive piece. If you get to keep DeAndre Hunter, he's a defensive piece. Now you start to build out with the defense and you get Trae off ball. I think that's a really good deal for the Hawks if they can pull that off. I think I really like that deal for John Collins. I like that deal. So I'm definitely looking to that. But that Kyrie trade situation, I'm hearing a lot of different destinations. I'm hearing that the Lakers, even though I don't think it's a real destination, I'm hearing that them. I'm hearing the Clippers. I'm hearing Miami. I'm hearing the Knicks, who I don't think is real either. But what place do you think Kyrie could end up falling if he does get traded?
The Heat makes sense because I think that trade would make the most sense. Like you said, I don't want Hero to go, but if you wrap up Lowry and Hero and a couple of picks, I'm sure that'll be a nice trade Brooklyn would not pass up. So I can see Kyrie going to the Heat to be with Bam and Jimmy Butler. Bron, I know when Bron called, Kyrie will probably answer. They cool now. Kyrie will probably answer and be like, yeah, we can work this shit out. Bring another chip to LA. So Bron ain't never really out of the picture. Bron is always in it. But I would say the Miami Heat. That's probably the biggest chance that the Nets have at a successful trade.
I agree. I think because the Knicks, who the fuck are the Knicks trading at? I'm jumping for joy.
I'm mad as hell that they're even brought up.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is why I fucking get mad at shit. Like, how did Knicks get brought up in a Kyrie? Why would Kyrie want to go there? And who do the Knicks have other than RJ Barrett?
Because, bro, people hate talking about New York, and the Knicks can never be brought up, bro. The Knicks are going to be brought up in the most irrelevant conversations to them just because they're the other team. They're now the other team in New York. They're not even the New York team anymore. But I feel like just for ratings, they have to bring up the New York Knicks, even if they know ain't shit finna happen.
That's crazy as fuck. But like I said, the Clippers, I think the Clippers have the assets as well. If Kyrie. My goodness, Kyrie, PG, and fucking Kawhi. That shit would be crazy. That shit, if they end up getting Kyrie, bro, like I said, I already picked them to get to the finals, but that shit just a cherry on top of that shit. I like the Clippers fit too. And like I said, I just don't think the Lakers have enough assets, bro, because y'all talking about trading Russ. Who the fuck want Russ? Unless it's a 3-team deal, maybe. I hear that he could get traded to the Pacers in a 3-team deal. Do the Pacers really want that? I don't know. Maybe the Pacers want that.
If you're the Pacers, what are your expectations right now for the Pacers? Like, is accepting Russell Westbrook really? If the Pacers act like they're too good to take Russell Westbrook, that's gonna piss me off now. Because at that point, people are trying Westbrook at that point now. Come on now. Now, if we're talking about like real championship contender teams, that's one thing. But the Pacers, who the hell is even looking at them right now? Like, y'all should be glad that any superstar name is coming to y'all, no matter how bad or good they're playing.
Facts. And in a system like that where Westbrook can do whatever the fuck he want, he gonna average 30, 10, and 10 again. Like, he gonna put up his triple-double numbers and niggas is gonna be back riding like, oh, he's a superstar, Like, Westbrook can still put up the numbers. It's just that he's playing with Bron, bro. That's honestly it. He's never been the best shooter, but when you give him a team that he can actually run himself, he does well in that type of environment. Look, case in point, his MVP season. DeAndre Ayton, bro. I'm hearing he's on the move. It's getting around draft time. The draft date is tomorrow. I gotta play draft day at the beginning of this shit.
Damn,
I gotta play draft day.
Draft day tomorrow?
Draft day is tomorrow.
Damn.
And I'm already seeing a lot of picks being talked about being traded possibly right now. DeAndre Ayton, we already talked about him at the end of the season, at the end of the Suns season, that he could possibly on the move. It was a lot of discourse between him and the coaching staff. Now I'm hearing that the Portland is interested in him. The Pistons are interested. It's a lot of more so on the rise teams looking to get into him that have the cap space or looking to trade something for him. So what do you think is the best option for somebody like a DeAndre Ayton if he was to get traded or if he was to sign somewhere else?
I like that Detroit one because I've been hearing everybody talk about him and Cade. That could be a great pair. I don't know how the Hornets money situation is, but
that's a good one,
bro. That should be fire, bro. Give Lamelo a good big man like DeAndre Ayton, and if you can find a way to still keep Miles Bridges at the same time, ooh, that's tough, bro. That's a shot in the dark because I know the Hornet. Michael Jordan is dumb as hell when it comes to making NBA moves. hey, funny enough, the greatest of all time sucks at making basketball decisions. But that's a shot in the dark. But I think the Hornets, that'll be a good destination.
I actually think that's a very realistic option, though. I honestly do. I think that's a realistic option.
MJ isn't going to make it happen. If MJ makes that happen, that's the best move in his ownership career. I swear to God.
And the funniest thing about the Hornets is that they're the coach that they were going to hire, Kenny Atkinson. He would coach for the Brooklyn Nets a couple years back. He was hired to get on with the Hornets. He said that he's not taking the Hornets job. He is staying with the Warriors because they just won a championship. He's going to be the lead assistant for them. So now they're out of a head coach this late into the offseason. But Mike D'Antoni was a finalist for that job. So it looks like Mike D'Antoni could be the new head coach of this team. And we know the type of system that Mike D'Antoni runs. He finna get you your stats, bro. And usually it comes with wins as well. If we're going to be real, Mike D'Antoni, one of the best coaches in all-time league records. But you got LaMelo Ball. You got somebody like an athletic Miles Bridges. And then you got somebody like a DeAndre Ayton, a lob threat. If you give Mike D'Antoni that type of team, because LaMelo already going to go crazy with a Mike D'Antoni system. He averaging 30. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Y'all think LaMelo tapped out at this 20? He's averaging 30 with Mike D'Antoni coaching him. And with a DeAndre Ayton, I'm telling you, let that shit happen. Let him get Ayton. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble in Charlotte.
I'm telling you, bro. DeAndre Ayton to the Hornets, bro. The Hornets right now, nobody's saying the Hornets. Hornets are not on anyone's radar. But like I said, Michael Jordan, that'll be the best move in his ownership career if he's able to pull off getting a LaMelo Ball drafted, and then you able to trade for DeAndre Ayton. Your team automatically that's playoffs. I don't know what seed, but they in the playoffs for sure.
Because I know tomorrow they have the 13th and 15th pick in the first round, and whatever salary you have to get off to get him on your team, trade that over to the Suns. My nigga, I would make this shit happen if I was the Hornets. But I like the Hornets one. I love the Pistons one. Y'all already know how I feel about K. Y'all give him some more weapons. Oh boy. I hope they draft Jaden Ivey tomorrow, bro. I'm really praying that they get Jaden Ivey.
I was just going to talk about my boy.
Yeah.
Purdue.
Yeah. So hopefully they get Ivey. I wanted them to get Banchero, but obviously he's gonna be in the top 3. But I think him and Ayton could be a good duo because we seen toward the end of the season how good he was with Marvin Bagley, just having a lob threat. So having somebody like even bigger than Marvin Bagley, more of a defensive presence than Bagley too, that's gonna be good for Cade, bro. Just keep putting more shooters around my man, and he got a squad. He got what he need to be the face of the league. Is all I'm gonna say. But I like what's going on.
They got Dyson Daniels going top 10 too, don't they?
Yep. True. They said Dyson Daniels can go as high as 4 that I've seen. He could go to the Kings if the Kings keep the pick. But I'm hearing that's a lot of conversation currently right now.
Let me see what his name at right now. On CBS Sports. On CBS Sports, Dyson Daniel, they got him projected to go number 7.
Yeah, pretty high.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of Knicks fans want him to drop to 11, but he's not dropping the double. He's going top 10 somewhere in the top 10. You feel what I'm saying? So it's gonna be. I love this draft time, bro. I think it's gonna be some big deals made tomorrow. And one deal that was made with a draft pick was the Portland Trail Blazers acquired Jerami Grant for a 2025 first round draft pick, and I think they swapped second round draft picks in this year's draft. But they get Damian Lillard more help in Portland. I don't know how big of a jump they have in the Western Conference, but at least it's something for Damian Lillard because it was looking bad before this move. It was looking terrible.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro.
If this is it for Portland, like where are they in the Western Conference? Because I seen that was the question.
They're not going anywhere.
They're not.
They'll be with Jerami Grant. They can go to the play-in. I don't see anything. Wait, no, there ain't gonna be a play-in. Damn.
They're taking away the play-in?
I thought they was taking it away after this season. It's either one more season or this was the last season.
I ain't hear that. But
if there's no play-in next season, they're not making the playoffs. But if there is a play-in,
I think they're gonna make the play-in. I think
they're gonna be the 9th or 10th seed, and they'll make the play-in.
Yeah, I think they'll make. I could
have sworn the last thing I read about the play-in was this was supposed to end like either this season or next season.
Nah, because Adam Silver loved the turnout so much that he's just going to keep it around. He's keeping it around long term. So yeah, I think they're sticking with the play-in type conversation. But what I have been hearing, But what I have been hearing is that they're in pursuit of OG Anunoby from the Toronto Raptors. I'm hearing that they want to trade it for the number 7 pick in the NBA draft. And if you get Jerami Grant, OG Anunoby, you start to give this team a way new outlook. I don't know how good they get in the Western Conference, but it's not the same team that they had last year. And I think that's what the Trailblazers needed. You needed a fresh start with Dame, bro. You couldn't bring back similar pieces. You couldn't just go all heavy with the offense. So bringing in 2 defensive wings, if you get OG Anunoby, you get way more defense because you get 2 of the best defenders, wing defenders in the NBA. You already have a stout point guard in Damian Lillard, and you just round that team out with another star. They just need one more big name star. I don't know who they can get. I'm hearing that they're in the talks to get DeAndre Ayton. They still need somebody else, that number 2 scorer. But I feel like you're building in the right direction with Jerami Grant, OG Anunoby, because now you're thinking defense more so than you were thinking in the past years when you were getting ran through. I think that's a different mindset for them, and I think it's just something different so it just doesn't become stale.
Well, do you think Jerami Grant could possibly be that number 2 for them when it comes to scoring? He did win most improved player, so I mean
he did, but this is the thing with Jerami Grant.
This situation is what that's for. Like you just want most improved player. So I'm expecting you to be at least a Chris Middleton level number 2. Like,
and that's the thing. I don't think he's as efficient as Chris Middleton. I think that's a pretty good comp, but he's not as skillful as Chris Middleton, and he's not as efficient because Chris Middleton is like a 50-40-90 guy. And I think Jerami Grant shoots in like the low 40s in field goal percentage. So it's like a difference in efficiency. Can he give you 20 points a game next to Dame? You have to have somebody score the basketball. So I think he could get you that if you asked him to. And I think that's what he wants to. He wants somewhere where he can be like a big offensive option. So I think that's why he got traded to the Blazers. But I don't think that's, once again, where's that getting you if he's your number 2 in the West? It's like, even though you're thinking defense, if you get OG, it's still like, you missing something next to Dame. You're still missing something. So I think the Portland Trailblazers are going to be way more improved going into next season. And that's all we asking for, bro. As long as Dame ain't running his head into a wall with that CJ shit, I'm just glad they don't got that shit, bro. As long as they started over fresh, I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. I was just tired of that shit going back and forth. And anything else on the Blazers?
Nah.
All right, man. Moving on to the NBA draft, man. The NBA draft is tomorrow, Thursday. What are your biggest NBA draft predictions, and who are some of your favorite draft prospects?
I think Jaden Ivey, like you said, I think he can go top 5. Who else? Chet Holmgren. I think they got him projected going to OKC. I don't know if he'll be the number 2 pick, though. You think he'll be number 2?
Man, I'm hearing a lot of rumors regarding Chet, bro. I'm hearing that he didn't give the Thunder and he didn't give the Magic his medicals. So apparently he doesn't want to go to those 2 teams. He wants to go to Houston to the Rockets and play for them. And so he didn't give the first 2 teams his medicals. So he wants to slip. I think he would be pick number 2, but I don't think he wants to go to OKC or Orlando.
But if you got to bank on the fact that Houston has to want you. Like, because they got Jalen Green. They got rid of Christian Wood, so
they need somebody. They need a big.
They do need somebody.
They need a big.
Yeah, you might be able to, if you check, you might be able to fall to Houston. But Jaden Ivey, I'm excited for. Jabari Smith, he projected to go to Orlando, I think. I think he's projected to be the number 1 pick. Orlando, I don't know what the fuck Orlando got going on, bro. They just keep getting a bunch of guards, and they got the
this
number 1
gonna be the year, bro.
I'm
calling it. This is going to be the year, bro. I think this is going to be the year they get the tent pole player where the player makes everything come together. And having the number 1 pick, I think it should be Paolo Banchero. I think he can run an offense. I think he will improve on defense. I think he has so much potential. Everybody always talks about the lack of upside. I think he has some of the most upside in this draft class because I think he's going to be 20-10 as soon as he steps into the NBA. You can't say that about these other players, bro. You question Chet's strength, Jabari's outside of Jabari's shooting, you question everything else regarding his offensive game. I think he's a better defender than Banchero, but I think as soon as Banchero steps into the league, bro, he's 20-10. He's NBA ready, bro. Nobody's better than that dude, bro. He can run an offense. He can pass. He can shoot. Will he have to improve in aspects? For sure, but I think he should be the number 1 pick for the Orlando Magic. He can turn your franchise around.
I'm excited for my boy from Kentucky too. What's his name? Tata. I'm excited for Tata.
You know I love me some Tata, bro. You know
I don't know who he gonna go to, bro, because I don't think he projected to go top 10 or anything. He gonna be like back half for the first
Tata
round.
really slipped in the draft because early in the season, midway through the season, he was a lottery pick. He was going like top 10 in a lot of mock drafts, but toward the end of the season, he started to he got hurt, and so he was playing through injury. He didn't have that same burst he had early in the season, so now he's projected to be like a late first round pick. It's like, damn, he really got like top 15 talent, but he's gonna get picked late.
I think somebody who could benefit from getting him, like I said, I don't think it'll be a steal because he's gonna be in the back half of the first round, but Pacers could use a guard.
I think Washington is a good fit for him. I think Washington needs a real point guard.
And I think pair with Bradley Beal. So
I think they need a point guard, bro. So
I would say the Pacers or Washington.
If you can get a point guard like Tata Washington, because I think his real natural position is the point. If you can put him at the point, I think Washington is a good spot. But I think Washington is picking at like 10 or something like that. I don't know if they would pick him that high, but I would definitely look at him if I was Washington. Another player nobody is talking about, bro, is Jaden Hardy, who played in the G League, bro. I think coming into this season, he was like a top 5 pick on a lot of boards, but he really has been slipping throughout the G League season. Even though he played pretty well, so many people are ragging on him because of his athleticism, this, that, the third. But I think he's going to be a bucket as soon as he steps in the league, bro. I think it's that Cam Thomas factor. When Cam Thomas was a bucket at LSU, he transitioned right into the NBA, and we see instant scoring nights from him in like actual real NBA games. And I think that's something that we can see from Jaden Hardy, bro. He was a top 5 like high school player. He's projected to go like late first round. I think he should be a top 10 pick. I think he's talented enough to be a top 10 pick. I think he should be a top 10 pick. Somebody needs to pick him that high. He has potential, bro. Like 3-level scorer potential. I would take him that high in the top 10, bro.
And Sharif in this draft too, ain't he?
Who?
Sharif on this.
No, he got drafted last year.
He got drafted last year. He did get drafted last year.
Sharif got drafted last year, bro. But some predictions, I would give y'all my top 5. I think it should be Banchero. This is how it should be. I don't think it's gonna go this way, but this is how it should be. It's Banchero at 1. I will have Jabari Smith at 2 to OKC. If Chet want to drop in the draft, Chet can drop in the draft. He can go to 3 if he don't want to give nobody his medicals. I think it should be Chet at 3. You feel me? At 4 is when it gets tricky because I think somebody is going to trade with the Sacramento Kings for the 4th overall pick, and somebody is going to jump up there and snag Jaden Ivey. I'm hearing that it could be the Knicks. If the Knicks get Jaden Ivey, I think he brings a lot of excitement to that team. Him and RJ Barrett, that brings a lot of energy. He's a high-flying athlete. He can shoot the ball. He plays defense. That's the type of player the Knicks need to get. Having the 10th pick every year isn't going to get them everywhere. Getting a high-level prospect like Jaden Ivey, if they trade up that high, I think that moves them up a couple of seedings in the Eastern Conference. So I think the Knicks possibly trade up to 4. And at 5 for my Pistons, it's tough because I really want them to pick Ivy. I would have them picking, oh man. I honestly want them to trade back. I don't want them to pick anybody at 5. I think they could get multiple picks for that 5th pick. And they just need players. I want them to trade back. But if they stick at 5, I think they get Keegan Murray out of Iowa. He had a hell of a season at Iowa. He's a 3-and-D type of player. He can do something off the dribble as well. Just adding more players around Cade that can shoot the ball, who can spread, and just add more playmaking and free agency for the Pistons, I think is the most important thing. Because they had way too much pressure on Cade throughout the season. I feel like he should be splitting ball handling duties, not being the primary ball handler. So that's what I would look for at that top 5.
Damn, who I got for my top 5? I have Banchero 1, like you said. I had Jabari 2, Chet 3, Jaden Ivey 4. Actually, hell no. I got Jaden Ivey 3. I got Chet 4. Because not that you have told me that, bro. Chet playing, bro. I don't know.
Hey, you don't want to get nobody your medicals, nigga. You finna slip to the damn.
I was about to say, bro, you slipping for real, bro. Because what? Like you're not even that high grade of a prospect to be trying to finesse the league like that right now. So Banchero, Jabari Smith, Jaden Ivey, Chet. I got Dyson Daniels at 5. I think he's gonna go higher than the 7.
Dyson Daniels that would be a good pickup for the Pistons as well, bro. I think guard help. Just the Pistons need every goddamn thing. It's not like the Pistons can just say turn down players at this point. They need every goddamn body. If you need a point guard, small forward, power forward, center, they need to come on to the Pistons and help my nigga Cade out, bro. Like I said, I think he's the face of the league, but you need some talent, bro. You need some type of talent around you. That's why I want Ayton. I think it's only currently 2 players that will be with the Pistons for the long haul. That is Cade Cunningham and that is Sadiq Bey. Everybody else, they not going to be here in a couple of years. I ain't going to lie. Killian Hayes, I ain't going to lie. You might not be there in a couple of years. And everybody else, I probably don't even know your name. They're not going to be on the roster, bro. So they got to build out this team now and through this draft. That's why I want them to trade back to get more picks, especially when you have such a high pick at 5. But pick the best player available for sure for the Pistons should be the motto. So Dyson Daniels, I honestly would not be mad at that at all, bro. But I like this draft class. This is a lot of players that I looked at closely throughout this season. Ochai Agbaji is somebody I've liked throughout this season. Walker Kessler, I think, can bring a lot to your team. Mark Williams. There's so many interesting prospects. I don't think we have as many stars as we would want. I think it's real top heavy when it comes to stars, but I think these are players that can really build your team, can be role players on your team down the line. So that's the type of draft that I'm looking at right now, and I'm definitely excited for it. So definitely shout out for the NBA draft. And moving on to the NFL, moving on to Deshaun Watson. So the report came out recently that he settled civilly with 20 of the 24 accusers that accused him of sexual assault. And yeah, and the NFL wants a year-long suspension for him going against the personal conduct policy. So we said that he was going to have to go through these trials, but it looked like he just want to settle and get out of it.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting this, especially after he gave the statement of he wasn't going to settle, because he felt like in a way that would be admitting that he did it, you know, and I think
that's
he did
want to.
He wanted to take all of this to trial, but I think somebody in his personal team or in his camp or whatever, I think people were in his ear saying, bro, this situation is probably only going to end well if you settle. Yeah, you may have the light on you that, damn, he probably did it if he was willing to settle, but majority of this will be done a lot quicker if you just go ahead and get this out the way and do that year suspension. Otherwise, we could be looking at the next 2-3 years of Deshaun Watson going to court literally every other day. And I think, although I didn't want him to settle, that is probably the best situation he had. So I understand why he did it, but I don't know, bro. Like I said, if 20-something plus people saying you did something, I ain't saying you did it to all these people, but 9 times out of 10, you probably did it to one of these women. So he's going. I think he is going to be incarcerated when this is all said and done.
And it's crazy, bro. I don't think he's gonna get like criminal charges because I think he settled with him civilly. I don't know if he gets charges for that.
Well, he still got 4 more. He still got 4 more that he going to trial with, and one of those people are the very first first woman who spoke out. She's one of the last 4 people who really speaking up still. So
damn. But yeah, because I said this back when this whole allegation thing started. If he settled, we knew what happened. Like, even though we didn't want it to go this way, it's like we knew what happened. And I think it's a bad stigma on Deshaun just moving forward with his career, bro, because we know what you did now and you admitted to your wrongs. Like you said, is everybody who got money correct and accusing him? Probably not, but you did it to some of these or to a couple of these women, bro. It's like, yeah, I think you had to have done it, bro. So I think it's just a bad stigma on him. I think it's that same thing what happened to Big Ben, bro. When Big Ben got caught up in that rape or sexual assault situation, like, I still remember that shit to this day. That's why I do not fuck with Big Ben for that shit back in the day. Like, I still remember that shit vividly. So it's like, yeah, you can do all that great shit in the NFL, bro. You can win chips with the Browns, whatever. But niggas is gonna remember you for this, bro. Especially when you didn't play for a season. You probably gonna get suspended for another season. This is gonna be on your legacy, bro. This is gonna be on your resume. Niggas are gonna remember you for this. I'm gonna remember you for this. Like I said, I fuck with Deshaun, one of my favorite quarterbacks, but I'm gonna remember you for damn. He was sexually assaulted all these women. Damn, he did wrong. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a crazy one. But you did what you did, bro. You gotta face that time, bro. You gotta face the consequences from it. But sad it had to happen.
Yeah, because they, like you said, the NFL was saying he got to have, at this point, at minimum, a full season suspension, not including the games that he's going to miss from this season.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of people were saying that anyway, with all of these accusations. People were saying, well, he's going to get a year or he was going to get 2 years. It's like, you can make a debate for any one of them, but he has to face the consequences for this, bro. He can't just come back mid-season after paying 20 women some money to, you know what I'm saying, to be quiet. Like, he has to face some sort of consequences, bro. So sad to see for Deshaun, bro, but hey, he did what he did. All right, moving forward, we got, oh yes, I wanted to give a shout out to Morgan Cato. So the Phoenix Suns have officially introduced Morgan Cato as the team's assistant GM and vice president of basketball operations. Cato is the first woman of color in NBA history to become an assistant GM. And let's clap it up for Morgan Cato, yes, bro. Sir. That's definitely some history being broken, especially for women, bro. That's a big barrier being broken down. Assistant GM, like, you getting high up there. Like, damn. At the assistant, you get GM, then you get president, then you finna own that motherfucker. So hey, let's keep moving up that shit, man. So definitely shout out to Morgan Cato. That was just some big shit I seen recently, and that's a big deal. So definitely shout out to her.
Yeah, because I think the last time I heard of a woman coach was with the Spurs, right?
Oh yeah, Becky Hammond.
Yes. So shout out to her. Shout out to Morgan. Shout out to any future vice presidents or presidents or GMs that we're going to see making decisions for these NBA teams. Like, so she's going to be somebody who has a big voice on draft night. She's going to be somebody that has a big voice when it comes to trades mid-season and whatnot. So congratulations to her, and congratulations to just women moving up more in the field of sports that isn't just reporting.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And moving on to social media wants to know, we got the Barbershop Bop.
Yeah, man. So I don't know if this is in Atlanta or whatever. I don't know if this is a unspoken rule in ATL that whenever famous niggas walk in a barbershop, you got to raise up. But Quavo walked into this barbershop, and the dude whose chair he was going to get in, dude was about mid-cut, maybe almost done, but he was not finished with his cut yet. And the barber told him to rise up. That man had to get up, take that barber cape off, and let Quavo sit in the chair. And he had to get his cut finished after Quavo was done. So the question is, are you rising up if a celebrity comes in while you're mid-cut and getting your seat? Are you letting that celebrity get in your seat mid-cut?
Fuck no, bro. It's no way I can get up. This is the thing. I think it's a couple things that go into it. If the barber told me that Quavo was coming, it's like, okay, if Quavo come in here, like if you give me some type of warning, it's like, okay, I understand. You told me what the situation was. I'm taking somebody's appointment. But if that nigga just walked in off the street, no appointment, hell no, you're not taking my shit, my nigga. He is not taking my shit, bro. No way, especially when I'm almost done. There's no way this nigga taking my cut, bro. No, go ahead and finish my shit. And the funniest thing about that video, the barber had told that nigga to get up. It's not like the dude just willingly got up. The barber's like, yeah, nigga, go ahead and raise up. He's like, yeah, I got the big money nigga coming in. Like, your $20 cut ain't paying the bills for real. Your $20 cut ain't paying the bills. So it was like, damn. It's nothing that the nigga honestly could do. He can't stay in the seat because the barber not gonna cut his hair.
Man, you gotta break me off or something. I need
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, Quavo gotta pay me to fucking get up this damn seat. Like,
you gotta have to pay me more than your cut for me to get up.
Yeah, nigga, if you really in a hurry, you got to show me.
And that's the crazy part, bro, because it could be your favorite celebrity too, bro. Because I fuck with the Migos. Like, the Migos are my favorite rap group. Like, I love Quavo. Let Quavo come in and tell Josh that I need to get out the chair. I'm really finna look at Josh crazy as hell. Like, yeah, I'm not getting out this damn chair. Hey, love your music. You raw as hell, but you got to sit over there in that waiting corner, my guy.
And it's funny because I think we're having this conversation right now. And we're thinking like, yeah, if a nigga did, I don't think we're thinking like actually in the moment. Like, damn, would we really do that shit for real if we was in the moment? Quavo walk in that bitch, and we like, damn, we finna stay in this motherfucker, or we gonna let Quavo get there? Like,
if I
think
get
about
broke
the nigga
off,
being in that moment. In that moment, it's like,
I'm not raising up out my seat mid-cut. I'm not raising up out my seat mid-cut, bro. It already don't take me long to get my shit done anyway. Yeah. It ain't like I'm getting a full cut. So you can sit there while I get this facial cut for the next 15, 20 minutes or so. You'll be fine.
I think it's different when it's in the moment. You see Quavo walk in that bitch, you like, damn, I gotta respect, nigga. I said, he probably did that shit. You respect that nigga. Said,
it was other chairs in there too. It's not even like he just had to be in my chair. I was like, nah. I'd have been like, nah, bro. You could go around and ask who chair you can get in and ask if somebody can raise up. But just to assume that my barber is going to be the way you asked me to raise up, oh, no. Nah, bro.
I just find it so disrespectful. The barber's like, yeah, nigga, you got to get up. It's like, damn, nigga, you can't finish me off? Like, this nigga really said, yeah, you got to get up. Like, you already know what time it is. Like, nah, bro. If you didn't tell me beforehand, I'm not getting up, my nigga. That's crazy. All right, moving on to entertainment and current events, man. We limited, real limited when it comes to the current events. I only got one thing for real, and it is EA Sports confirmed the NCAA 2023. So you already know the video game is coming back, but they have confirmed the school payouts. So it seems to be that schools they're going by tier when you talk about schools now. So let me put this up on the screen.
You mean tiers as far as like who's going to get paid?
No, so it's tiers in terms of school payouts for the new EA Sports college football video game will range from $10K to $104K based on a tier system. So if you're a high caliber school, Alabama, UF, Georgia, you're going to be in that $104K range. And if you're a low tier school, not getting a lot of attention, North Dakota State, whatever, you're going to get like the 10K system. So now they're talking about how much the schools are going to get paid for this shit. And it's crazy because I thought they were going to start paying the players directly more so than the schools, but apparently they're going to pay the schools the money and not the players. But I'm guessing with the players, with all their NIL deals, it could still end up working out. So it's like you still could get something for that, but I don't know if they were going to get as much as a lot of people expected.
And it could be a situation where like you can sign a deal with EA Sports yourself through an NIL deal to where you may not have to, get a deal just because your player is in the game. You might have a deal with EA Sports already by yourself through NIL. So I understand that we can't create a perfect world now where players are getting paid from EA Sports and they're getting NIL money and they get to go over the hill they want to go. Like, no, that would have been a perfect scenario. So since they have the opportunity to get NIL money, I can't be mad if they're not getting directly paid from EA Sports.
But I think it's still dope that the game is coming back. You're going to have your name in the game. Like, I think that was always the big deal about, and that was always the big draw about NCAA. It's like, If imagine being in college at that time, playing the game, and you playing with yourself. You feel me? Like that's just some dope shit to think about. So just having these players in college now finally get to have that type of experience that they grew up looking up to. I think that's just some dope shit. And I feel like the high caliber players, like the Bryce Youngs, probably are going to have the EA Sports type of contracts because they're probably going to be like on the cover of the video game. And that's going to draw people in. So I feel like a couple of people could get the EA money, but not everybody.
And the thing is, bro, and they probably not going to do it because that's too many teams. But just think of all the great ass teams we could have played with, bro. If EA Sports never went away, like if NCAA football never went away, because the last one was what, 2013, 2014?
2014.
From 2015 until now, just imagine all the LSU teams, the Bama teams, the Ohio State teams we could have been playing with. And then they're not going to throw all them old teams on there to satisfy us because that's too many teams at that point. But that's crazy, bro. Just imagine all the teams we missed out on.
That's fire, bro. I'm just ready to play like my career once again on that damn video game. Road to Glory. I'm ready to play that shit again because I really felt like that was a game back then when you started from high school and you moved all the way up. I feel like that was some shit that I gravitated to. All of these games now they got to tell a story, and that shit kind of fuck up the purpose of what you're doing. But that shit, if they keep it, you feel what I'm saying? Like that, as long as NCAA keeps that together, where you got your own my career and you keep it from high school, I'm going all the way to the NFL, and I can transfer my player over to the NFL. Keep that shit in, and also create my own players when I'm creating my my teams. I'm creating my dynasties. As long as I can create my own players, recruit my 99 overall. I'm cool with that shit because I love that shit as well.
Because they should keep it retro, bro. They should not try to make NCAA like these Maddens and these 2K games that we have now, to where it's their main focus now with these games is making it so online and so interconnecting. And it's like y'all are getting away from the essence of the game now. Like when people put 2K in, bro, they don't give a damn about playing Celtics versus Mavs anymore. They don't care about playing actual NBA teams against each other. People put 2K in, they go to the park and play with all their creative players and just play different types of 21 games and this, that, and the third, and building their VC points. That has nothing to do with the purpose of 2K. And like Madden has started doing that now too with the yard. They got the yard where you can play 7-on-7 and stuff, and it's getting away from the thrill of making your own player and doing a campaign mode and all that type of shit. So if NCAA was able to if they had the guts to keep it retro, they'll be the best game out, period.
Easily would be the best game out, bro. So hopefully they do. But this will not be coming out until July of next year. So we will not be seeing it for another year, but still excited.
Well, wouldn't it be NCAA 2024 at that point? Because they always have to make it the year ahead.
Apparently it's going to be 2023, according to this.
This Madden that's going to come out, it's going to be Madden 23, and 2K is going to be 2K23.
Damn, you're right. Shit, I don't know. This will say 2K23.
Yeah,
but I don't think with college basketball, I think not college basketball, with college football, it's only for that first year. It doesn't draw. It doesn't go into the other year. You know how NFL starts in like October and ends in February. With college football, it starts in September and ends in December. I think the championship game could be like early January, but it's really like for that 1 year. So everything gets done in that year. So I think that's how it's always been, honestly. I don't know. I could be tripping, but I feel like
that does make sense, though. It does make sense.
All right, and moving on to Pass the Ox, man. We got a lot of albums to react to. Not a lot of albums, but we got one huge album to react to. And we got Beyonce dropped a single this weekend. I don't know if you dropped that. Listen to that.
Yeah, it was straight.
It was straight. Because I was hearing a lot of mixed reviews about it. So I was like, is Beyonce like that?
It was straight, bro. Like Michelle Obama tweeting, talking about we needed this song and all. It was not, no. It was not that type of song, bro. It was a good Beyonce song, and it set the tone for what her album is probably going to be.
And speaking of,
it wasn't no. Okay. no oh my gosh, Beyonce's back type of song. It was just like okay, like we're ready for the album. Like,
yeah. And a lot of people said Drake was hearing the whispers of what type of song or what type of album Beyonce was going to drop. And he said, fuck it, I got to drop this album. And so Drake ended up dropping a dance album, surprised the hell out of everybody who listened to that bitch for the first time. I have not listened to it a second time. I listened to it once and never went back to it. That shit blew my mind, bro. That shit blew my mind. I was skipping halfway through half of those tracks, bro. I could not get through the whole song. I'm like, this isn't Drake, bro. This is not the Drake I wanted to hear. Because this is the thing.
It wasn't for me.
it wasn't for me, bro. I hear some people saying they fuck with it. That's cool, but this ain't Drake. And I'm hearing so many people saying, "Oh, y'all asked for Drake to drop something different." When the fuck did we ask for Drake to drop something different? Every album he drops, he has a couple of songs like this on the album anyway. We skip them or we listen to them. Like, we get to choose. But to have a whole album full of these type of tracks, Drizzy knew better than that shit. I know Drizzy said he got a master plan, but fuck no. I ain't rolling, bro. I ain't rolling.
This was his worst album that he's ever dropped. I will go ahead and say that. Like, this is definitely...
It's not even close. It's not even close.
I don't know anything that I will put this over. I really don't. Like, this is the worst album Drake has dropped, but it's not trash. Like, it's really not trash. Like, I can sit and listen to this whole thing. Like, it's vibes. Like, it's vibes, bro. And I think there's certain artists who we put on pedestals to where we don't allow them to drop anything less than great ass music. This was not an album of great ass music. It was an album of vibes. And I can honestly say, after a couple of times of listening to the whole thing, it's a few songs on here that I'm like, hey, this shit do slide. Now that I'm understanding the type of music he made with this album and what he's doing, it's a few songs on here.
You're giving Drake a pass, bro.
Drake a pass for the garbage. It's his worst shit. It's his worst shit. As far as Drake, of what we know Drake to be, this is his worst project. But as far as a dance album, once we actually look at this and say, okay, we know this is a dance album, let's listen to it from beginning to end, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's a few songs on there that I can tell you to listen to again, that I could pick for you to listen to again. You'll be like, okay, this shit's straight.
I don't want to listen to that album again. I'm honestly, bro, even the last track with 21, bro, I was just like, I think I actually liked that song, but my mood was so blown that I couldn't even enjoy the shit because I was just like, what the fuck did I just listen to for the first 12 tracks? Like, that song could have been good, but my mood was blown, bro.
Somebody made a good point too, bro. This album, and I'm not saying he purposely made it for this reason, but this album can be a bunch of songs that you're going to hear in hotel lobbies, on elevators, in background music of movies, and this, that, and the third, or even shows and stuff. Like, this album is a bunch of songs like that you're gonna see in different or hear in different environments. Yeah, like a whole lot of tracks that you hear in your everyday life or see in movies, and you're gonna be like, oh, that's that one Drake song that was on that album or whatever. Like, I'm not saying he made it on purpose for that, but these are a lot of songs that you can picture with that. And this is, I ain't gonna lie, this is an album that might get sampled a lot. In the next couple of years, don't be surprised if y'all hear a lot of samples from this album, because it's a lot of sample-worthy beats and hooks on this album.
I'm not going back, bro. I don't know if it's a Drake album close when you talk about like bottom two. Like, what would you put second worst, bro? Because I think it's like, honestly, Nevermind is all the way down here, and it's like, still his second worst is still all the way up here, bro. It's just like a huge jump, bro. It's like, damn, I just wasn't ready for this shit, bro. I just wasn't ready.
I'm telling you, bro. If you
I stayed up till 12 o'clock to get this Drake.
Don't get me wrong. I was mad as hell. I stayed up for it. I could have definitely listened to it the next day. So I was mad as hell I stayed up for it. But I feel like once you, in the next couple of days or the next couple of weeks, bro, when you really can sit back and say, okay, I'll try and listen to this a second time, and you really just sit there and vibe to it, you'll be like, okay, this shit ain't This shit ain't as bad as I thought it was. It's still not that great. It's still not that good, but it ain't as bad as I thought it was. I promise you that's going to be your reaction.
How do you feel about people saying that, oh, he dropped this just because Beyonce is going to drop a dance album? Do you feel like he dropped this because, like, oh, he knew Beyonce was going to have one, so he tried to rush it and put this out?
He's never done that in his career. Ever. He's never done that with other rappers he's beefed against. I doubt somebody he's cool with in B. He's like, oh, I heard B dropping. Let me hurry up and drop. When has Drake ever done that in his career?
But he want to be known. He want to be the first one to do it, though. He probably heard B was going to do it. He's like, oh, let me put my house music out first.
But we
have her be
can't
second.
assume that. We can't assume that. We can't assume that. None of us had a hint he was dropping any damn thing. So what if this whole time he was planning to drop on
but
that
Beyonce
weekend?
just dropped her release. She just dropped her release like earlier that week. And then like 2 days later, we hear
She made
Drake's.
the announcement. She made the announcement earlier.
That's what I'm saying. That's
but
what I'm saying. Word probably got around what type of album it was going to be. Drake said, I got to drop mine now.
But what if Drake planned to drop before she made the announcement she was dropping, and he just never said anything until the night before he was going to drop? We're making that assumption. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying we're making the assumption. He's literally, what did he say on Life is Good? Niggas got to move off my release dates. So he's going to say that just to move off of somebody else's release date? I doubt he's doing that, bro. I doubt he's doing that.
Nah, because when the queen come through, he got to move back.
He cool with B and J, so I doubt he's in a scared way. Now, he maybe in a marketing way he's probably doing it, but I doubt in a fearful way he's moving off of her release date.
Oh no, because he would definitely sell more for sure. He would sell more than B.
And she's dropping like what 2 or 3 other acts. This is called Act 1, so she's gonna drop multiple. So do you want to drop before she goes on her rampage, or you want to drop in the middle of a Beyonce rampage?
That's my point. He said, I got to drop this shit now before she go crazy.
But I don't think that's fearful. I think that's just being smart. It's like, would you rather drop in the middle of somebody dropping a bunch of projects, or would you rather drop before or after?
It's Drizzy though. As being the best artist in the game, should you be worried about it?
Not when you know you're dropping probably your worst project ever. Like, you're definitely not dropping that. And he knows that, bro. Like, he knows that shit.
He had to have known that, bro, because he was expecting criticism for that.
He's talked with Cole before about this and everything. He's talked with people, and he's probably telling people, look, I know they're not gonna like this when I drop it, but and I think he knows, bro, over time people are gonna adjust to it. And he said that about Certified Lover Boy. He told people with Certified Lover Boy, look, y'all might not really like this when it first drops, but over time and listening, y'all are gonna be like, damn, this shit is
niggas was fucking with CLB
okay.
Immediately though.
But not the way we expected, bro. Not the way we expected. It was definitely people saying CLB was mid when that shit dropped. It was a lot of people saying that shit was mid.
But I think a lot of people are saying that shit anyway, just to be the first reaction.
And that clip of, I don't know if you see me retweet that on Twitter, but in 2018, when he was getting ready to drop Scorpion, it was an interview where he said that. He was like, we live in a time now where you just have to be willing to be vulnerable for those first couple weeks, because people just want to have the first reaction. People just want to have the funniest comment and say trash, this shit mid, like it's not good, he falling off. And then 2-3 weeks later, you get honest opinions about what you dropped at that point. And I guarantee you later into the summer or damn near at the end of the year, people are going to have a whole different tone about Honestly Nevermind. I see people now saying, damn, that shit ain't as bad as I thought it was on the first night. I see people saying that now, and it ain't even been a full week. So imagine by the end of the year, people like, damn, Honestly Nevermind was really like a 6 out of 10 instead of a 3. Like,
I'm not
niggas giving it a 3 now. It's getting a 3 now, but by the end of the year, people gonna say that shit was low key a 6.
I just don't see the vision, bro. I can agree with you that shit probably is happening, but I just can't see myself going back listening to that album, bro.
And because he sold 230. He was projected to sell 230 within his first week of sales. So by Friday, if he sells around 230 copies, that's the highest selling dance album of all time first week.
Yeah. Well, no promo. That's
with
crazy
no promo.
Shit. No promo.
And that's one of his lowest. that's one of his lowest, if not his lowest sales ever in his whole career, first week. So your lowest sales is still record breaking in a whole different genre.
Facts.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's great. That just tells you how big Drake is in general, though, bro. That he's the only person I think is allowed to do this shit, and we just like, all right, Drake, drop your next one so we can forget about this one. We're not gonna cancel you for this trash shit. We just ready for the next one because I heard that this is like someone that he's just wanted to get off, but he's going to drop another one later in the year. So
I
was like,
Scary Hours 3 coming out.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm looking forward to that one. Like, I ain't gonna listen to this one again. This one felt like the album of throwaways. Remember we were saying that shit about Dark Lane demo tapes? No, this was the album of throwaways. That's how that shit felt to me, bro. Oh my god, bro. This is the album of throwaways. It was just hard to listen to, bro. It really was. God damn. And I don't know if you got anything else on the album.
No, I think it's like a 6 out of 10. It's straight, bro. It's definitely some songs on here that are vibes for real. I'll tell you the songs that are vibes, and then you can do what you wish with those.
All right, then we already talked about Beyonce. Beyonce dropping an album on July 29th. I'm seeing a lot of people excited for that. I'm honestly not the biggest Beyonce fan. I don't go all goo goo gaga for her, truthfully, but I see a lot of people excited. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm definitely part of the Beehive. I'm not one of those crazy Beehive people, but I'm definitely part of the Beehive. I'm excited. We ain't had a Beyonce album. I mean, like a real Beyonce album. I ain't talking about that Lion King album and all that. I mean, like a real. Beyonce album.
Lemonade was her last one.
Lemonade was her last one. So it's been like what 4 or 5 years basically. So I'm excited for it. I don't think the whole album is gonna sound like the song. I forgot the title of the song, "Break Your Spirit" or something like that. I don't think the whole album is gonna sound like that. I'm hoping not, because it's been 4 or 5 years. I don't think we want a dance Beyonce album right now. I think we want some real singing. So
for sure. And what you got for Past the Aux song of the week?
I'm finna give you one of the songs right now. Damn. It's a tie between A Keeper and Calling My Name off of Honestly Nevermind.
That shit is crazy. And I got that Just Say That by Duke Deuce and Glorilla. That shit go crazy. I don't know if y'all listen to Duke Deuce that much, but he makes nothing but 106 in Park type of music, bro. Like, if that shit was still around today, he would be on that shit multiple times. Like, that nigga makes bangers, bro. That nigga makes bangers. Definitely shout out to Glorilla too. And moving on to movie and show reviews. Got some movie news. Got a couple of things. Jon Snow spinoff. Again, I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones. You watch Game of Thrones?
Hell no.
Do not watch Game of Thrones, but there will be a spinoff on Jon Snow. Y'all know how Jon Snow ended it. He ended up walking away from being the king of the North. He ended up walking away from being the king of the Seven Kingdoms. I think he just took a boat somewhere. I think he just ended up selling off, or he went back to the Night's Watch was the end of his storyline. So I don't know how the spinoff is going to go, but it's in production right now. Definitely excited to see it because we're seeing so many different Game of Thrones spinoffs. We got House of Dragons coming back with the Targaryens. We got a Jon Snow spinoff. And I see they got like 4 more that are like being talked about right now, where like so many different aspects of the show. There's so many different ways that you can break into it. But one thing I really hope for with this show is that we get Arya. Arya has to be in this show to really captivate my interest in it, because I think her and Jon's dynamic was just so dope to me. Jon Snow is already a good character, but I don't know if he can carry the show for real. Add in Arya, and I'll be tuned in for sure. But definitely excited for this show for sure. And moving on to some other news, we have Marilyn Monroe movie is coming soon. It's with the same girl that played in Knives Out. I always blank on her name. Hispanic chick.
I do too.
Yeah, Maria something, but she's getting bigger and bigger because I'm seeing her in way more shit. She was just in that one movie with Ben Affleck, Deeper, not too long ago. So she's getting a lot of traction in this community. But the Marilyn Monroe movie will be on Netflix. And I don't know what it will really dive into, but I'm just interested to see the perspective because I don't think we really seen it yet.
I'm just interested to see, because all I know is Marilyn Monroe is this beautiful person who is like the the face of beauty for the decade or two that she was alive and in fame. You know, so she's known as being one of the most beautiful women of all time, one of the biggest movie/show people of all time. So I'm ready to just get a look into her life and just see how her career started and what happened during her career and all of that. So
yeah, so I'm trying to currently look up what the hell this movie is. Anna D. Armas is the name of the actress. That dead ringer for bye. She said the biopic dives into the divide between the Marilyn we remember her as and the lonely, tortured woman she was behind the scenes. So it will give you a lot more than what you heard about Marilyn Monroe being with the president and everything else. It will tell you about the torment she had just dealing with all of the pressure of being this, like, one of the most beautiful women alive, the pressure that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that's dope to see, because honestly, it's not coming from her perspective. I guess it's like people next to her or close to her, like how they reacted to the pressure. But I think it's just something different that I haven't seen before. So I think it's dope. And moving on to upcoming movie and show reviews.
Yeah, so we just recorded for episode 3 for Miss Marvel. If you haven't seen our episode 1 and 2 reactions, go ahead and check those out. Episode 3's reaction will be up very soon, hopefully within the next day or two. I just watched Hustle, so we could do a review on Hustle, the Adam Sandler movie. That movie was fire. We got to do Everything Everywhere All at Once. Thor: Love and Thunder, you guys, that comes out in 2 weeks now. So we got a couple more weeks.
That's beginning of July?
Yeah, July 8th.
Damn. Okay.
And whenever we could just do this Avatar 1 movie review so we can prep for Avatar 2 at the end of the year.
I definitely want to dive into that Avatar for sure. And it's some movies on HBO Max and Netflix I want to dive into too. There's some nice shit that I've been seeing on there that we could definitely dive into in terms of reviews. I
want to see Spiderhead. I ain't
Spiderhead is another one. I see Spiderhead just came out with Journey Smollett them, so that's another one that we could do too. So it's some more that we're gonna dive into when it comes to Netflix. I feel like we just been reviewing Marvel recently, so we're just gonna break out of that little trend with some Netflix and some HBO Max shit. But definitely keep in tune with us. But Edgar, you can hit up with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube at Q&E Podcast. And our Gmail is QANDEpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and you can subscribe to all of our Q&E Media pages. Instagram is QANDE Media. Twitter is QE Media. And definitely subscribe to the Q&E Media page. That is QANDE Media. And definitely subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Definitely appreciate you guys for listening and watching. And we out. Peace.